everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. I'm here with a very special episode. We are doing the complete title history of King of the Ronalds. We are going through this most esteemed, brilliant, acclaimed, intriguing leagues out there. King of the Ronalds. Shout out to King of the Ronalds every time. Many of these guests I've had on the show. I need to get on the ones that I haven't had already. Really excited to get into this. Probably going to be quite a long journey here going through. We've got a lot of matches, a lot of treachery, a lot of betrayal, a wolf hall of bars to get into. I'm very excited to do that. And I'm joined by someone who's battled on King of the Ronalds, but he's very much an Oliver Twist type figure at the moment. You don't really know who this guy is. He's kind of come up in the ranks. Sam XM, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's good, man. What's good?
It's all good, man. So you are kind of a King of the Ronalds fledgling, right?
Basically, yeah, future pagan, as we're called.
Right, okay. And battling for you, where did it begin?
Oh, to be honest with you, it bit of kind of Mark Grist, Blizzard, standard kind of story. Then getting into people like Lunacy as it's coming up through the years. And then kind of getting into King of the Ronalds. I know a guy off King of the Ronalds, Magic Mike. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah, he's doing numbers on Dub Scandal, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's doing well on Dub Scandal at the moment. That's another good upcoming league. But yeah.
No, shout out to Dub Scandal. Definitely, they're intriguing. But we're here to talk about King of the Ronalds. And what is it for you about King of the Ronalds? Why is it such a thrill?
I think it's probably the most interesting league out there. Different variety of rappers. We have up and coming kind of street rappers. We have Canel. Loads of different kind of variety of rap.
And we are going to go through now each title match, declare the winner, debate what has been said. There's, as I said, there's a lot to get through here. And we kick off as King of the Ronalds would kick off. The title match is the first match. It's very ramshackle. It's very last minute. It's very Hulk versus Big J.
See, that name's fake. I know your government name, but I ain't gonna be bait. I'm just gonna say your name's Jeffrey, but fuck it, for this battle you could be Dave. Bruv, you sit in the bath with candles crying to Drake. Your gun bars are like Semtex because the arms are fake.
Don't slip on the custard if I slit his neck. Try not to catch diabetes from his flipping breath. He thought he could beat me, but he's honestly dead. Because I'm the master of the style that his skill couldn't accept. Like, your mum's got a cleft fanny lip.
Yeah, it's at the original event, Welcome to Hell. Mm-hmm. I think that was their first ever event.
Right.
So it's a close. I think it's a pretty close battle. And I gave the first round to Hulk. He's coming in with bars. He's talking about a pocket check, and then he's speaking about Big J, and he's going, "Yeah, I'm coming in for a titty check." And then, so it's pretty good battle. And yeah. Have you seen much of this one, Tom?
I recall it because I had Hulk on. We went over it. It's not one that I've got too familiar with outwardly, but it wasn't a bad battle. I think ultimately the title needs to be held by people who are kind of new to your eyes. You know what I mean? Who kind of so like a Bard is a bit more native than a Hulk or a Big J for certain that matter. But it had to kind of happen to give a certain impetus to the battle, and ultimately Hulk takes it.
Yeah, 100%. Hulk takes it 2 rounds to 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, coming into this now, Hulk versus Uno Lavas, probably not the best thought out thing considering the ocean between.
Yeah, I agree with you there. This one's, if I remember correctly, it was filmed in a car park as well.
Right.
After an event, so it was quite not very well prepped. The video wise, they've only got the second and third round actually on camera.
Listen, bro, you talking about my job like that shit is gonna win. I said this shit's gonna windmill, and I ain't gonna pretend. I stomp you the fuck out, all you see is trees. But I ain't giving them Timbs. I've been milking the game for all it's worth. I guess the milkman's milking again, motherfucker.
He's boy. Decoy. They walk the streets with sweets, toys, and Mr. Tumble tickets. Wait. He's boy. Decoy. They walk the streets of sweets, toys, and Mr. Tumble tickets. Spitting game on little girls quicker than they can catch it like jungle lyrics.
And they don't really show who wins, but I'm pretty sure standard King of the kind of Ronalds stuff.
Yeah.
But no, Uno Lavos takes it, but he takes the title with him to America.
And these sort of opening matches are kind of there as necessary scaffolding to build out to this more interesting saga of the title match. So we get to the first match proper. that I want to talk about here. Technico versus JB. This is a title match. Talk to me about JB at this time. Were you a fan of the guy?
I didn't know about the guy at the time. Only when rewatching the battles, I've heard about this guy.
Right.
But I've been checking out his battles. He's quite good. He's had quite a lot of good bars in especially in this battle. But Technico is kind of a guy who's came up through the ranks as well. So I think it was always going to be a pretty close match.
It was, obviously the international debacle kind of ruined it and fucked off with it, as Mickey says. So we have the new contenders here.
When I load up these rounds, click clack, 100 bullets couldn't hold the impact of the kickback. Bitch slap. Before this fucking fight had begun, I guarantee he'd never clashed as violent a man. So I'll put him out to pastures, because I don't care, homie. Better have a retirement plan.
You ain't the Hulk, son. Just because you look like Hulk, son. You've had enough clashes. Was never great at it. Battled Zen and Big Bowski. Couldn't generate classics. You've been doing this 3 years. Never been established. I've been doing this a year. Now we're in the same bracket because his team's moving forward. Getting PG spots while he pivots. Thinks he's got deep lyrics. It's just a weed in him. What do you bring to the set? Fucking tea and biscuits. Biggest joke in the office since Keith Bishop, I'm saying.
Technico, he begins not bad, kind of a similar kind of party that we've kind of been known before. Nestle to Nestle, Kit Kat. Nothing too substantial, but he keeps it going, the performance. But JB kind of has a bit more quality to win it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. JB comes in with some pretty solid bars. He goes, "You ain't the Hulk, son. You just look like Hulk, son." I quite like that kind of bar. I think that's a pretty well written bar. What else does he need? Nice. I think I'd say JB takes the first round on that 100%.
Yeah. Biggest joke in the office, like Keith Bishop, is nice. Techno, 120 beats a minute. Excellent stuff there. Technico referenced Papillon in his second, which I respected there. Sort of calls him the least Aggie of Yunnan clones, but
I like that bar.
Yeah. But the kind of obvious height jokes come into play. High five, give a tenner if you can touch that.
Yeah, one more short joke above that. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
He uses quite a few good bars there. I like that. But then JB does get back into it with the Ghostwriter Parker pen, and like his Leeds impression was pretty funny.
Yeah, definitely, and just notable punches there. Sort of the whole him getting sent 16s by his contemporaries. Every picture he's got a zoot in his mouth and sort of stuff like that. I think JB just has that integrity to his performance there that kind of ultimately shows that he's just a bit of a cut above.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but I personally, in my opinion, I say Tech took that round.
Right.
I'd say Tech took that round. I think he came in with bigger punches, and I think sometimes crowd reaction can play a big part into it, and I feel like JB was kind of slept on, but I preferred Tech's round in that case. What about who did you have taking that round?
Probably had Jay taking that round as well. I just thought ultimately Jay had a bit more invention behind him. It's not his greatest performance. I think he's a bit more polished on Don't Flop, where he gets a sort of like, the sort of quiet listening he deserves. But I think nonetheless, he shows that he was quote-unquote champion material in this. It's not the most fantastic battle, but, it gives us a winner in JB, but then, he doesn't come back.
No, no, he doesn't come back. I think, if I'm right in saying, did he maybe go to Don't Flop Extra?
I believe he sort of defected in some form or another, yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's the main problem, I think, with King of the Ronalds. People don't see it as a serious platform, and sometimes they like to build their way up just to expand and get into other leagues. Which obviously, being part of King of the Ronalds now, I'm enjoying doing King of the Ronalds. Obviously, I have no complete ties, but I think it's a good start and it's a good kind of home to battle rappers.
Yeah, and I mean, like, in your position now, Sam, as a new battle rapper, who are you looking to battle Blunthead or? I'm looking
up through King of the Ronalds at the moment, and there's a few people I've got my eye on at the moment. Blunthead would be a kind of good battle. I quite like to battle Max Sherry or someone like that one day as well.
Now we get to the sort of another sort of title match breaking new ground has to happen because there isn't a returning contender. Visceral versus Bard. I'm a big fan of both of these guys.
I'm going to molest you. And the phallus thick. This is what happens to those rabbit chicks in manga flicks. Before I grant your wish, answer this. Are you a pacifist or come to pacifist? The pen ace or your chin's about to meet balls? That's a powerful dish. You're all style, no substance. Someone I can't respect. An opponent that I'd hardly sweat. I'm calm, collected as the Dalai Lama. I've settled my karma's debt. But if you take the piss, then I'll switch to Michael Myers in half a sec. And I don't mean the one who starred in Shrek. I mean the one who slit your throat, better guard your neck. A guardian of the art, I gave an arm and leg for the cause like an army vet.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Visceral. I rate his battles. His one against Canel, that was one of my favourite battles on King of the Ronalds of all time. I think they're both great battlers in their own respect. Quite kind of different styles, but it was a good style clash.
Visceral, though, I mean, kind of has that silky smooth approach, doesn't he? Yeah,
he does. I think he always goes in knowing what he's doing, even if he's drunk. That's what I find funny about him. But yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. No, he has that. He has that definitely to him. But for me, I thought Visceral had the performance, but I think this was his second battle of the night or something like that, so it was quite exhausting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Bard is just kind of rocking a bit more of the renewed energy here. Like when Bard's in full flow in his kind of combo mode, it's pretty unbeatable.
He's in his own world. He doesn't see the other people. He can just hit punch after punch. There's no one there to him. He enjoys and thrives off the crowd, but he doesn't need them there. He knows he's perfected his style for days and days. Visceral though, I'd say he took the first round and then Bard took the other two, but I thought it's a good battle. It's one of the best title matches, I reckon.
Yeah, Visceral's first is good. The whole Bard never lost, runs drama departments, I don't need to give him props. What sort of the idea of Bard, the definition of Bard, like wandering wordsmiths, wise and wistful. When he raps, is an insult to black culture. Wrong type of minstrel is nice.
Yeah.
Like barging opponents should be like Bard's a bit more like I'm going to molest you.
Yeah, that's how he started, isn't it? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a good start.
Weird neck with thick tendons, an invention of Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is good stuff, and I think Visceral kind of fights back here and there. But yeah, it's like Bard can just wear you down like a battering ram at times, and he gets some good stuff here. Some Sharia law punches. The kind of the way he handles the crowd here, clearing out his history on writing mine. That sort of aggressive lamppost, sort of perpendicular way he gets up to him.
Yeah.
Kind of At the end, I do give it to Bard.
Yeah, I give it to Bard. Visceral came in with a few good bars, and if it had been a different day, I think, and he had more time to prep, I think it could have been a different battle, but that's what happened, so yeah, I'll give it to Bard as well, yeah.
Yeah, I think Bard ultimately. And what Bard as a champion of King of the Ronalds for you is someone that you're proud of?
Personally, I do like his bars, and he is obviously that kind of style of rapper, but I'm not the biggest fan. I respect what he does, and I respect how he's writ his bars, but I'm not the biggest fan personally.
What is it about him that you despise?
I think the aggressive style can come in play, and also I'm not that kind of into all this fantasy stuff. I'm not completely into it, so I respect the bars and I do get quite a lot of them, but I don't know, I think I'm up for a change in King of the Ronalds at the moment.
Would you ever battle Bard?
Would I battle Bard? If the opportunity arose, then yeah, definitely 100%. If it arose, I'm 100% up for that. Yeah.
What if there was like a sort of there was like a rookies versus vets sort of situation?
Oh, if there was a rookies versus vets, I'd have to. Who would I battle then? I don't know if you can class Canel as a vet yet, but the amount of work he's done, he's done for King of the Ronalds, I'd say I'd class him as a vet personally.
Okay, interesting. Well, I'm, Bard, no doubt, was a very, very good champion as well, and, he came back, which we're going to get into, but his first real defence was against O'Shea, which was, a big name.
Him winning the title is none of that root for the underdog, Rocky Balboa kind of story. It's no competition, lack of opposition, Tyson Fury. Him winning this, he probably thinks he's on the cusp of all types of glory, but I know stuff about this come from uni that'll make his ass sweat. You are the worst champion ever since David Arquette.
Relevant fucking bars. I put a man you smoke a big fucking blunt cigar and jack this leprechaun for his lucky charms with 3 straight rounds of motherfucking dungeon bars.
Dungeon! dragons!
Because I've got the sort of Nordic swagger to slaughter dragons and then order flagons. You're a sort of northern faggot with form for gagging in porter cabins. You go cottaging, drink up compound a 40-gallon, he ain't happy till it's splashing his face like a water cannon now.
I think it was a really good battle, to be honest. And I think O'Shea knew how good Bard was when he went into it, and he went in with respect and tried to give a good performance, which sometimes O'Shea, you can see, obviously he's done a lot of absolutely everything in battle rap, but sometimes he can go in a bit underprepared if he kind of doesn't value the opponent as much. So I think he went in knowing that he had to bring his A game, even though I agree Bard did win, but yeah, I think it was a good battle.
Yeah, it was kind of oddly shot, I found, to a certain level, very close up on both combatants, which made it kind of slightly irritating to watch. Visceral's there, Eddie P is kind of, parading illegals on camera. The Montreal screw job gets mentioned here. O'Shea's not bad. He goes on the don't flop angle. I've been bottled more times than you've battled. It's kind of some vintage O'Shea stuff here, but I like how Bard gets angry at O'Shea, which you rarely see. Knock who's there, fuck O'Shea, and kind of just explodes in his face here, and just lots of stuff. The Pedro punch, he takes a lot of angles that could have been thrown at him and sort of twists them around here. Calls him a half-prepared twat. It's like he's honest with him.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely honest with him. He gets into it, and he speaks about himself being the underdog, and he knows what he has to do. Because at the end of the first, he's going, "I'm the underdog. I'm a Rottweiler," I think, or something like that. And then the second round, I think the second round is a really strong start when he's saying, "You're the kid who took a shit on Jaws." I found that really funny, personally.
Yeah, completely. And impressive that he beat O'Shea, though.
Yeah, really impressive. That's why I do respect. I completely respect the guy. Not my style, but yeah, I completely respect him, and I like the bar. I've still got a bit of floss in my teeth. I thought that was really, really clever.
Yeah. There was some. Standard, but good. Got a sword so big, not even a scouser could steal it. It's kind of I do like his sword bars. They are quite interesting. O'Shea kind of breaks Sanking and rolls in the third. Bard has a great third as well. Like, the ending of the battle is quite hard to watch, isn't it? When the crowd sort of tussle with the victory.
It's difficult. I think it's a good 5 minutes when they're saying, "Oh, we're going to go into overtime. We're not going to go into overtime." It's a bit of a shambles, to be honest with you, at the end. But it's kind of you kind of expect it a bit with King of the Royals sometimes, to be honest with you. But I think it's a good battle all in all.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's a intriguing one, but Bard comes out, maybe not covered in glory, but nonetheless comes out. And then into Pamphlet. What are your thoughts on this match?
It feels like I'm talking to a girl. This is the world headquarters. Your head's a quarter of the world. Yo, you fucking posh twat. He's the only Geordie bloke who's guaranteed the Tory vote. He's so rich his parents bought a boat, and I'm pretty sure it's the only one in the north afloat that's never been used importing coke.
A basic bitch with played old rounds like a saber disc. This isn't a battle league, this is a dictatorship. I came to slay him with a saber grip, hands drenched in bad blood. Gotta shake it off when I get rid of Taylor. Swift. Yo, number one contender, yeah? Wait, let's check though. You've had one freestyle battle with my best mate Pedro, and one up for debate with the late crescendo, and now you're up next to my name, mate? Hell no. Fuck you and your big chin like Jay Leno. It's a long wait from my station, boy. That's a late metro. Listen, yo.
Oh, that's a hard one to remember, but if I remember correctly, I think Bard completely bodied him, but there was some I think there was a pretty controversial bar in there when Bard was like shouting at him, saying about his dead dad or something.
Right,
if I remember correctly.
I don't recall that off the top of my head, but I can, I can't see it put past him.
No, I think, I'm pretty sure that I don't know, completely say it's happened, but I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, he went in with that about his dad as a joke, which I thought was quite. I thought that did lose a bit of respect for me personally.
Yeah.
If I remember that correctly, but I have to go back and check that. But yeah, I gave that one to Bard 100%.
Yep. Bard definitely gets it at the end there. And again, like, you know, the title is doing what it needs to for a minor league, giving the winner big top tier battles, you know, like your O'Shea's, like your Pamphlets. It grants those chances, and you've got to say bravo to Bard in whatever circumstances to maintain a title against O'Shea, against Pamphlet, you know, to beat Visceral. He was on a great run at this point, no doubt, and this is exciting. But you know, there was someone else out there. There was quite an obvious contender at this time in King of the Realms that was building up to it, and we get something like Bard versus McKenzie, which people class as, you know, a real classic.
And he's straight out of I don't give a fuck, baby. I don't give any. Yo, but like fucking all aggressive. Till he comes to the punch and then he runs out of puff and then he sounds like a fairy! But all your boys gas you up, they say. Fuck the critics and the adversaries. You're a star in their eyes like Matthew Kelly, but you're not shit with your friends. Oh, Matthew Perry, so put a big line up. I don't care, that's Glastonbury. You're from Glasgow, so I'll let the glass go and you can get Glastonbury!
You rap about swords because the hardest shit you've ever seen has been written by a novelist. Be a poetic warrior whose accomplishments stand forever as a monolith. I'm talking Shakespeare, Robert Burns. The name still carry prominence, but Shakespeare stole all his shit from Iberian sonnets, plagiarised the twist, and Robert Burns nearly left Scotland quite to work in a slave plantation, which may say something about his politics. So for you, biting makes sense of some historic shit that a bard would take from a culture that wasn't his.
Yeah, it's one of the best King of the Realms battles we've had, definitely, 100%. And they get, I think a good friend of you, the show of yours, they get Brother to introduce it as well, I think, if I remember correctly. No, it was definitely a good battle, but I think personally it was Bard's downfall, definitely, 100%. I think, in my opinion, I think McKenzie definitely brought it to that battle, and I'd say he won that 3-0, definitely.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah.
Wow. I mean, Bard doesn't even take a round for you.
No, personally, no. I'm not even the biggest fan of McKenzie, but I thought the stuff he came with in the first round about anti-Semitism, and I'll watch him on the left. What is it? Fantasy to fantasy, like something, all the stuff like that. It was absolutely brilliant. Like the hardest shit you've ever seen. What was it? The hardest shit you've ever seen was wrote by a novelist. I thought that was absolutely brilliant when he came in with stuff like that. But I don't know. I think Bard's style for me got a bit repetitive after seeing it so many times.
Right.
I don't feel like he's ever switched up. Not that you have to do that, but I feel it's quite samey, personally. Yeah.
I mean, it's internationalism. Internationalism was quite nice as well, but it was, I think I found McKenzie did a bit of a clinic on Bard to a certain extent in that, and there was a sea change necessary, and McKenzie kind of was facilitated by that, no doubt, and, you know, gave a good battle, a tense battle, a real showcase, you know, and I think a lot of people agree technically, certainly one of the most standout King of the Realms battles. And then subsequent defeat, quite controversially, to Canel. How are you reading that battle?
McKenzie versus Canel.
I mean, literally, from the second we got to the venue, when I walked in, to fucking, we dropped you on the plane, you were going on with all the fucking grace and decorum of all those ballads you get on a flat earth forum. I know you're into your fucking politics, that's sick. But there's a time and a place for that shit. I'm going on about the separate standpoints, different aspects of the far right and with their ideological half split. And all that mad shit. And it is not at 10 in the morning after a party when I am still pissed and all that shit.
Use ketamine for its intended purpose. You're a barnyard day raper, son. This right here is like when you used to sneak into the next door's field to steal shit. You better bail before the haymakers come, my team's heavy. You don't really want to meet us. Battle Rap's unwanted kids on some abortion shit. Still many man want to defeat us with this dumb pleb. I'll butt heads like I'm brothers with Beavis.
Take what you want of that. Some people like to keep winning battles, like you see the Lunars and people like that. They want to win all their battles and not do as many. But then people like Canel are coming in, killing it still, but they want to do more battles. So I don't know. It depends what kind of battle rapper you want to be.
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, you've just got to be careful not to saturate yourself, I suppose, not to just sort of, dilute the creative flame that made you go there. And inevitably then Canel loses to Bard, which is quite a sort of sad, sorry state to see.
But yeah, what they really mean is penises. But as if gas and pistols weren't bad enough as graphic visual representations of phallic symbols, You do bars about having a really big sword. That's abysmal. Your actual penis must be bastard dismal because you will have some major overcompensation issues. But I did find out one little factoid on you. You know when he goes this big long...
I'll take Nardwar and put shells on his back like a aardvark, because the Canel persona is about as real as the bard laugh when all week you steal the working man's bread like a card shop. I don't rate it. In fact, I'm questioning Karl's heart. I don't give Karl Marx for pushing that class war like Karl Marx. You battled in America, right? Congratulations, like that's success. Hey, congratulations, like that's success. But you were rapping in a cabin, dressed in cap and a tracky vest, and he wasn't writing punches in the air. You ain't Adam West.
I think I'm personally a very big fan of Canel. I find him absolutely hilarious, and I think he's probably one of my favourite battle rappers to watch. Or he's one of the only people I'd get in straight away. If I saw his battle was online, I'd definitely go in and watch it. And I think this is where Canel starts to use the slogan properly. He starts bringing it in. People are getting into him more, and I think he starts with, "You're a pretentious, angry ginger child," or something like that. But no, I'd say Canel. Yeah, Canel. That was a really strong battle for him, and I think it was the start of him. Not the start, but I think it was him getting better battles, top tier battles. I think it was a good chance for him, and he definitely took it.
It's quite exhausting, isn't it, being someone like Canel, where he just took so many battles on, didn't he? And the title match came into that, but he was just so deep. Yeah,
definitely, 100%. He took. I think he was doing like some weeks he was doing 2 or 3 battles, which was ridiculous across different leagues, everywhere. To be honest with you, but worked great. You can take what you want of that. Some people like to keep winning battles, like you see the Lunas and people like that. They want to win all their battles and not do as many. But then people like Canel are coming in, killing it still, but they want to do more battles. So I don't know. It depends what kind of battle rapper you want to be.
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, you've just got to be careful not to saturate yourself, I suppose, not to just sort of, dilute the creative flame that made you go there. And inevitably then Canel loses to Bard, which is quite a sort of sad, sorry state to see.
Yeah, Canel losing to Bard. I think Canel wasn't, I don't know why, but personally, I don't think Canel was himself. I don't think, I wanted Canel to take it, but I don't think he took the opportunity, and Bard came back a lot better than I thought he was in the battle against McKenzie. Definitely, 100%. Canel started the round pretty well. I think when he was talking about KOTR's Bitter X, because I remember, if I'm correct in thinking, not Bard. Who was it? Was it Bard? Oh no, don't worry. Ignore me there. No, but he came in talking about the Bitter X. He comes in saying he was dumped and dropped. So I think that was quite. I think Canel's first round was good, but then when Bard just comes in, he got in full flow straight away in the first round, 100%. So and the bar that ended it for me in that round was like, "It's child's play, man like Chucky." I quite like that. That's a good bar, but
yeah. No, there was, and just his kind of exasperated voice, the way he says it, Bard. And kind of the effect, like, love him or hate him, Bard is King of the Ronalds incarnate.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, he does bring a different kind of. There's not too many battle rappers I've ever seen. Like I can't even think of one really. Any UK battle rappers I can think at all that look like him, seem like him, and rap like him. He's a kind of different breed, but he knows what he wants to do, and he does it well. And I think he's never gone into a performance without giving it his all. So fair enough to him.
Yeah, no, entirely, and he is the current champ. He's battling. Is it GEE he's battling?
Yes, GEE is battling next.
Wow, I mean, in the future, I'm sure good folks at Battle Resume, you'd be aware of it. But how are you seeing that match?
I'm quite good mates with GEE, so I'd quite like to see it. I'd like to see him win, but after rewatching some of the Bard battles, I think he is up against it, and I think he is the underdog. But he's had the underdog story. I was at the bottom 8 final where he battled Odds, and he won that to get the shot at the title match. So I'm hoping GEE can come away with a victory, but my head's telling me Bard's going to win it. So yeah, definitely. Well, do you know much about GEE or not really?
I'm not too familiar with him. I know that he's like very highly rated, and like I've been told by a few people that I should be up to this guy, and know what he's about. But can he stand against Bard?
I do agree with you. I have to agree with you there, to be honest with you. He's just beaten O'Shea though. He has just beat O'Shea.
Right. Wow.
in Wirral. So I wasn't there, and it's not yet out on the channel. So I'd quite like to see that and see if O'Shea was at his best and he's beating O'Shea, then you never know what could happen. But if O'Shea just came in for a bit of fun, then I'm not sure. But I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. No, that's going to be exciting. And like the title as a whole, who else do you see sort of competing for it in the future?
I think at the moment there's a lot of new people coming into KOTR, so I'm not sure there's too many people coming up for the title. But a person I definitely would say is most likely to next go for the title is Carlton Shanks. He's a very have you heard of Carlton before?
I've had him on the show the other day, actually. He's a good friend of the show.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, he's absolutely, he's a brilliant rapper. I think definitely 100% he definitely deserves a title shot. He's doing a lot of work. I think he was on Dub Scandal the other day as well, battling Titan.
Right.
So that he bodied him completely. His bars were just a completely different league.
We discussed that battle, actually. I was kind of disappointed with Titan. I thought he was better than that.
Yeah, I think Titan's is a good rapper, but I think on the day I don't think he brought it as well as he thought he could.
No.
But no, I rate Titan. Yeah, no, I do rate Titan. I'm quite liking what Dub are doing at the moment as well. Got some stuff coming up on there, so yeah. And like as a young battler, like what's the sort of outlook for you? Are you sort of thinking in a year I want to be going for the title, or? Personally, I'm King of the Ronalds is probably my main league. I'm hoping it'll be my home as a battle league because I'm enjoying working on it. But I've got some stuff lined up on Dub Scandal. I can't say too much. There's a card coming out, Bartleypool 2, so I'm on that. But I can't. It's a like kind of blackout kind of card, so we can't say right. Secret lineup. So we got all the rappers are on. There's a trailer out now, so you should check that on the Dub Scandal page. But the lineups aren't announced yet. But no, I'd definitely like to be going for the title within the next year or two, to be honest with you, on KOTR, definitely 100% if I can work my way up.
That's the thing as well with KOTR now in the sort of post-don't flop environment. It's going to be a lot busier, isn't it? Because there aren't as many active leagues. I think so. I think King of the Runners is going to have a few of the bigger rappers maybe come over, but then UK Battle League as well is kind of doing quite well, and they've got a few events coming up. The Bloodline, so. There's quite a lot of new platforms, and I'm not sure what's happening with Don't Flop at the moment, to be honest with you. Hasn't said anything. No, it's weird. It's kind of there's just been complete radio silence over there, so we can only wonder. But this has been really good going through the the title match with you, man. This has been intriguing. Yeah, it's been good, man. Thanks for having me on. Of course, bro. And finally, people, your battles, Sam XM, right? That's what they need to Google. Sam XM, yeah. Just go on King of the Ronalds, search up Sam XM versus Tez, you'll find it. How do you feel about the battle? I'm happy I won because I'd say I took him 3 rounds, but it's not as good as it could have been. So don't completely judge me on that yet. But no, I'm happy with the win. There's a few good bars in there, but I'll be back and bigger next battle. So right. Well, awesome, man. I'll definitely share the battle out as well. Put it in the description. Thank you everyone for listening. Leave us a review on iTunes, subscribe to the channel, Battle Resume, go on the Patreon as well if you like all the Battle Rap UK content. Thanks so much for listening, as always. And yes, Sam, thank you as well, bro. Yeah, cheers, man. Have a good one.